our guest for the unveiling of the Forest Travel's new venture, Space Travel. This room is filled with people that have been there and done that. So what's left? Space. Bet you haven't done that.
Never. I'd like to welcome you to the passion that drives me and all of us, is the passion of travel, the passion of aviation, and now the passion of space. And let me tell you, as a future astronaut, the ability to go up to 360,000 feet is unbelievable. It's pretty much 9 times what I fly today. I can tell you that I can't wait. I mean, wow. And you all in this room gotta tell me it is probably the coolest thing you'll ever do. And most of you in this room, I would say pretty much 99.9% of you, can do it in your lifetime. It's not something that's not achievable anymore. It's not the little comic book when you grow up. It's not the little, you know, skyline of space somewhere in an ad. It's reality.
Is that to me, the essence of travel is to get out of the familiar, to expand your horizons and see things from a different perspective. And everything I've ever heard and everything I've ever read about anybody that's ever been to space, which is less than 500 people in the history of mankind, every one of those people says it changed their life. That being up there and looking down at this earth changed their perspective. And for me, that's at the core of the essence of what travel is all about.
If you're on board the spaceship at that point, it gets pretty amazing. They then ignite the rocket motor and instantly you are thrust down and back into your seat by quite high G-forces. Not high enough to do any damage, but high enough that if you did happen to be asleep at the time, you sure as hell would wake up pretty quickly. Within 10 seconds, you're traveling supersonic, and within 30 seconds, you're going almost 3.5 times the speed of sound. So it's literally faster than a speeding bullet, vertically out of the atmosphere. Really, really quickly, if you're looking out the window, if your head's not pinned back in the seat, you can see the sky change colour really quickly from blue through to dark blue to purple through to black out the window. And that rocket burn lasts around about 90 seconds and takes you into space. Once you get into space, everything completely changes again. They cut off the rocket motor, instantly it's completely silent, there's no onboard engines and there's no noise in space because there's no atmosphere. And instantly, in contrast to those really high G-forces, you're actually weightless. So you can, on Spaceship 2, which is what we're building now, our passengers are actually unfasten their seatbelts at that time and be able to float around the cabin. You can see up to about 1,000 miles in any direction. You're in the blackness of space, you're floating in zero gravity, and you can see the thin blue line that is the Earth's atmosphere very clearly. So it's an incredible view to enjoy whilst you're floating around. So what you can see there is White Knight 2 and Spaceship 2. Spaceship 2 is the one in the middle, and White Knight 2 is the big aircraft carrying her. She has 2 cabins for balance. The pilots are just in the cabin on your left-hand side, and the cabin on the right-hand side is actually empty. The windows are actually painted on in that one. That's a little secret there.
But Spaceport America is in a very remote area of a very remote state in the United States, New Mexico. And it is the world's first purpose-built commercial spaceport designed for the next generation of reusable launch vehicles. This is the reasons why New Mexico is so perfect. The restricted airspace of White Sands Missile Range right nearby is restricted, no commercial aircraft from ground to infinity. And there's only one other place in the country where that happens, and that's over the White House. So over the White House and White Sands Missile Range are the 2 places. And so we are in New Mexico, just like those of you who will be part of this, just like Richard Branson and Burt Rutan, we feel very much like we are part of history here. This is the birth of the second space age. Space tourism is the beginning of commercial access to space.